Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we're back once again in Deepsgrave. We are helping Trausti find Eskil, who has been captured by Orcs. So now that we're here with him, let's see what comes next.
Attacked just over there.
We were attacked just over there, to the northwest. There were many Orcs, more than I could count in a moment, and it was my impression that they were returning from somewhere. I felt we were not their purpose, though they were satisfied our path crossed with ours. Investigate the site of the attack and you may learn what befell the young novice, and if he yet lives. So I think I know what we're gonna find in here. Still gotta fight some of these guys. Yeah, thought as much. Remember I told you when we first came here that these bloodstains and this rope looked a little bit suspicious? Well, this is it. This is the answer to the question, whose blood is it? And the answer is Eskil's. So, well, at least we have that answer now. Orc blood. Perhaps Eskil managed to injure his attackers. It's not Eskil's blood. Alright. This short length of cord was cut from a longer rope, but for what reason? Alright, okay. Not what I was expecting, to be honest with you.
Eskil's fate remains uncertain, but there is reason to hope for his survival.
That bridge is the way to Durin, and we know Eskil did not return to the Maergrind. I think we can say this of Eskil's fate. It remains uncertain, but there is reason to hope for his survival. I think they shortened a length of rope in order to bind his hands, and he may have been brought alive to Durin, or perhaps to other Orcish dwellings along the northeastern wall of Deepsgrave. Let us search the northeastern bounds of Deepsgrave for a further sign of the young novice, and for my axe as well. The north... Okay, so... that's what I thought. We do need to... well, the fastest route at least seems to cross Durin once again. So we come, we enter through the west, we leave through the east gate. I just hope we can avoid most of the sappers in here because they are a pain. Oh, come on. They're pulling a lot more guys. Oh my god. Look at all the guys in here. Please tell me that is all. Yeah, that went better than expected. Now we just gotta continue through here. We'll pull some more of these guys up till this goblin, I believe. Come on. Please let me go. Come on. Awesome. So, maybe we can avoid some of these drakes. But not all of them. Nope. Too much to ask. Come on. So let us see what we got here. We can avoid this goblin in here. This is where one of the treasure caches is located. Alright, okay, and I see where we need to go now. Up this little ramp over here. I remember now. The location, it's not so clear at first, but once you know it, yeah, it's through this little hole in here. So let's go. Trausti, you feel frightened eyes upon you.
Cowardly eyes are upon us, watching us from some hiding place.
Let us give their bearer a good scare and he may reveal himself. Unleash a tremendous roar, Beriathan. Let us inform this craven watcher we know of his presence. With a frightened squeak, a terrified goblin falls out of hiding. And look at him, poor guy. Don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Orcs knows nothing. When Trausti suggests that only an informative goblin life is worth sparing, the goblin squeaks with terror and changes his tune. Wait! I do know something, I do. You're looking for a dwarf? A captive dwarf, yes? I know where he was taken. Hashdrup's warriors brought him to Vatug-ronk, they did. He won't live for long in that pit, but he was alive when I saw him. Yes, he was. Useful information, useful. And he ran. Okay.
I'll let him go. We learned something useful.
And there will be plenty of time to slay goblins later. If he was telling the truth, Eskil was alive when he was brought to Vatug-ronk. If we hurry, we may be able to keep him that way.
I do not know much about Vatug-ronk, the Groaning Pit.
But if that is where the Orcs brought the young novice, that is where we need to go. I believe the pit is on the very lowest level of Deepsgrave. Let us meet at the base of the Maergrind and then we will decide our next course of action. Alright, so I think I told you about this before as well. We indeed oh no, don't fall. The main quest will also take you to the lowest level. Well, it did when we were exploring the Maergrind, but it has again now that we need to rescue Eskil. So, all things considered, the main quest will take you through most of the locations in Deepsgrave. It's just that there's a lot of back and forth between Deepsgrave and Matugard before you get to explore other places, and that is a shame. I do wish the quest flow in this area of the game had been a little bit more fluid, more smooth. I could have done with all the back and forth, and I'm sure most of you would have as well, but well, it is what it is. Just gotta get to the ground level now, and thankfully, by taking these stairs, we will get really close to the lift. So it does help when you learn your way around Deepsgrave. I still stand by what I said. I still think this is the most confusing area in all of Gundabad. And I'm sure if I come back here in, let's say, a month or two, whenever I come back here with my next character, I'm gonna be just as lost as I was initially with Beriathan, as I was initially with my other Warden. Deepsgrave is a confusing mess. But not so much right now. We've learned our way through it, and we're almost done with Deepsgrave as well, so I think that's gonna be the last of Deepsgrave. Indeed. The Maergrind. Oh, come on. Do you mind? Yeah, had I remembered, we would need to come back to Deepsgrave so many times. Maybe we could have done without grinding the Troll Slayer did, who knows? Maybe we could have done that on camera. Trausti stands here, surveying the dirt floor of Deepsgrave as you approach.
We are here.
We are here. Are you prepared to search Vatug-ronk with me for our abducted friend? Let me know when you are ready. So Trausti will send us on an instance to Vatug-ronk, so we're not going there. We're not going back there
And keep your eyes
proper,
open for my
but
axe as well.
I mean, I'm not sure if we were to find, if we will find trolls inside this instance, but just the fact that we came back here a couple times is enough for me to see that I didn't need to grind that did as much as I did, but even then it was just 20 minutes, it wasn't that much. Keep your eyes open for my axe as well. I'll do my best. Hopefully we can find
We'll
it.
find and rescue Eskil Bloodthumb, and my lost axe as well.
It's quiet here, Beriathan, except for the sound of the wood cracking and the groaning of the support beams above, overtaxed by their heavy loads. Where are the guards? Where are Eskil's captors? This is most peculiar, Beriathan. Aha! There's someone to greet us. That was a poor showing. What happened to these orcs? You there! What happened here? That's a very good question. There's something fishy about all this. Yeah, I hope we get some answers to all this mystery. If you're here to slay orcs, you have come too late. Ever since that cursed dragon arrived, raiding parties of hobgoblins have come through from time to time, but this last one was even worse than usual. It was all we could do to fight them off, and we paid for it. Gore. We sent for reinforcements from Gorgar, but they have still not arrived. We should have killed that goblin of his when we had the chance and paid the consequence, but he is gone, and my boy is all slain. The dwarf prisoner? Glurkup wouldn't let us eat him. Should have slain him anyway, and the goblin too. So what if Glurkup has orders to keep him alive? He's still locked up, I expect. I don't think the hobgoblins were looking for him. They found me and the boys instead and did us in. This injury could well be my last. But I am not so injured I cannot slay you. Think again. Well, you cannot think now, but... I think our fortune may hold true, Beriathan, for it sounds to me that Eskil may still be alive. I cannot imagine why this goblin Glurk might have had orders to keep him alive, but I will not trouble about it for now. It is enough that Eskil may yet live. Follow me, my friend. We will find him somewhere in Vatug-ronk. Perhaps these orcs are too weary from battle with their supposed hobgoblin allies to stand against us. I forgot to ask him about my asks. I'm sure it will show up eventually. Have you seen my axe, villain? It has sentimental and monetary value. Yeah, it has a golden tooth after all. I do not think they have seen it, Beriathan. What next, then? This axe is simply not as good as the one I lost, Beriathan. Sorry to hear. I hope we find it soon. And Eskil too, of course. There he is. Trausti. Beriathan. I'm glad to see you're doing good. Well, as good as can be, I guess. I will break the lock on Eskil's cell and release him. I do not think we will have much time before Gorgor's reinforcements get here, Beriathan. Remain on guard. Here they come. More of them. That seems to be all of them, and no sign of my missing axe. How fares Eskil? Thank you for rescuing me, Beriathan. I knew I should not have come to Deepsgrave, but what choice did I have? My jailer was a goblin. Glurkup he was called, I think, and the orcs were afraid of him. It seemed to me that he must be high up in Gorgar's councils. He forbade them from harming me. The last I saw of Glurkup, he had Trausti's axe in his hand, but where is he now? I do not know. After the hobgoblins attack, there was no more sign of him. Thank you both for coming to save me. I know I do not deserve it. I am no warrior and can be of little help to Gavilaka. Oh, don't be so bleak, Eskil. You're still important. Well, I am glad we rescued Eskil. But if we are to find my axe, we will need to track down this Glurkup, it seems. Fear not, Lothric. We will not keep it for long. Yeah, that was a really short instance too. Oh, we got back to the Noble Gate. Awesome.
I thank you again for the rescue.
But I think this experience has taught me one thing. I am simply not cut out for adventure in life. I am no warrior. Eskil sighs unhappily. But there's nothing for it. I signed a contract to serve as Stáli's apprentice, and whatever he sees fit to send me, there I have to go. You saved me this time, but how often can I count on you to rescue me? I will surely die down here, Beriathan. Eskil's sister, Fastrith, looks sad to you, thoughtfully.
Might I have a moment of your time?
It is clear to me, and I suspect to all, that my brother is not well suited for the life of warrior, but it is also obvious to me that Stáli, his master, cares little for the dangers into which he sent his apprentice. Eskil needs to obey his master's commands for the duration of his apprenticeship, but were he to somehow slip free of Stáli's contract, he would have no further obligation. It might save his life, Beriathan. Will you help me find some loophole in the agreement, some means of freeing my brother from the servitude that will surely lead to his doom? Tell me you will.
Aye, that's the spirit.
Yeah, but give me just a moment because I'm not sure if we'll get another chance of seeing brother and sister together like so. So, just want a picture of you both before we continue. Aye, that's the spirit. There must be some way to free my brother from this dangerous apprenticeship. Who could have anticipated that working for a sculptor would send him among such orc-infested dangers? Mere months ago, when he agreed to work with Stáli, I thought the worst of his worries would be living up to his epithet of Blood Thump. By hitting his thumb with a chisel, Beriathan, that's what I mean. You get it? Lovely. Anyway, Stáli has not fully moved into Gundabad yet, and his luggage remains in Sarkul Zulun. What do you say to searching his baggage for my brother's contract and studying it for some loophole that will free Eskil from his service? If you go at once, we can do our best to keep Stáli from learning of this regrettable but necessary intrusion. At least they take us there automatically, that's good, but this is just, as far as I remember and as far as I hope, the last instance of backtracking for the main quest, but is a long one, going all the way back to Sarkul Zulun for the contract. I'm not sure what's the point of coming all the way back here, why we couldn't find some of Stáli's luggage on Maergrind. We were already there. Hopefully the quest will answer this question as we continue, but let's check. This chest contains many papers, but none bearing Eskil's name. What about this one? Your search proves fruitless, revealing no sign of Eskil's contract. Third one's the charm, right? Nope. You hear footsteps approaching. Stáli the hero arrives, a shrewd look on his face. Fastrith and Eskil follow at a distance. And yeah, this is another good enough picture, I guess. Yeah, Garliff, calm down. Let's see what happens now.
I know why you're here.
And if you think I have to release my apprentice from his obligations, you are gravely mistaken. Study the contract if you like. I have it right here, for I keep such things on my person at all times. You never know when someone might try to make such a binding agreement mysteriously vanish. Stáli brandishes the contract with a flourish. And this is also another fun picture. Bear with me, I'm so sorry if it's taking too long, but this is also another great picture to have. Preamble and naming of the parties. Let it be known to all in the Lonely Mountain and its environs, and to every inhabitant of Dwarfdom throughout his Middle-earth, that on this, the 3rd day of October, Dane's second Ironfoot, King under the mountain, did recognize and witness this agreement between two parties come before him. So, October the 3rd, that was at the beginning of the adventure. Frodo was just leaving Bree with Aragorn. So, my god, that was a long time ago. The parties are named as follows, with due identification presented and accepted in the sight of King Dane. Party the first, Stáli the Hero, noted sculptor and artist of great renown, resident of Tumundum, the Dwelling Halls, known herein as the Sculptor. Party the second, Eskil Bloodthump, noteworthy accomplishments asked for by the first party, but none were offered by the second and are therefore omitted. Also a resident of Tumundum, the Dwelling Halls, known herein as the Apprentice. As a matter of course, the King under the mountain expressed his opinion that the parties enter into this agreement of apprenticeship of their own free wills, and that no undue influence was exercised upon either party. Section the first, Duties of the Apprentice. The duties of the apprentice shall not be limited in any way by the omission of any particular duty in this section, but shall be deemed to include any such reasonable responsibilities that shall be suggested by the sculptor. The meaning of reasonable for this section and for any following section shall be interpreted as the course most likely to be favored by the will of Dane's second, King under the mountain. The duties of the apprentice shall include, but be not limited to, the following responsibilities. 1. Acquisition of materials for the creation of any works of art required by the sculptor, purchased with supplied coin. Any excess coinage is to be returned promptly and without fail. Upon discovery of such a failure, the excess will be tallied and deducted from the apprentice's weekly stipend. See section the second. 2. Through weekly cleaning of workshop space in order to weekly cleaning of workshop space in order to foster creative work on the part of the sculptor. Any spots missed in the cleaning shall be tallied and a percentage deducted from the apprentice's weekly stipend. See section the second. 3. Timely preparation of meals for the sculptor, no earlier than 8 in the morning for breakfast and no later than 6 of the clock for dinner. Drinks to be made upon request. The sculptor does not like berries of any kind on his plate, but he is partial to honey and any products made from it, such as meat. The appearance of berries anywhere near the sculptor's table will be noted, and a deduction made from the apprentice's weekly stipend. See section the second. 4. Praise to be made for the sculptor's work when appropriate. Private criticism of such work will be noted, and a deduction made from the apprentice's weekly stipend. See section the second. Public criticism will be noted twice and count double. 5. In the event of illness or maiming that causes the apprentice to be unable to carry out his duties, be they daily or weekly in nature, he is to provide a substitute for the day or week in question. If the substitute is found lacking, such deficiency will be noted, and a deduction made from the apprentice's weekly stipend. See section the second. Similarly, if the apprentice is deemed to be contagious and refuses to nominate a substitute, that will also be grounds for a deduction from this weekly stipend. 6. Grading guests of the sculpture and assessing who is to be admitted and who is deemed unwelcome. The sculptor's time is valuable and not to be wasted. Special consideration is to be given to those who bring gifts for the sculpture, especially meat. The discovery that meat might have been given as a gift should the guest have been informed beforehand by the apprentice, will be met with disappointment, which is worse than anger. Disappointment in this case will take the form of a deduction from the apprentice's weekly stipend. See section the second. So let me see if I get this straight. If the apprentice says to the guest, for the guest to bring meat as a gift. That's disappointing. What's the matter with you, Stáli? Well... Section the second. Duties of the sculptor. The duties of the sculptor shall only include responsibilities here listed. This is their full extent. 1. The sculptor shall provide a weekly stipend of coin to the apprentice, modified as described above in section the first. 2. The sculptor shall provide instruction in the art of sculpting and the preparation of fine artwork, as time allows and at the sculptor's inclination, informed by whether the apprentice displays a natural propensity for the subject. This propensity is to be assessed by the sculptor and by no other save the king under the mountain, should the apprentice choose to frivolously spend the king's time in this manner. Okay, what next? Section the third. Ending the agreement. This agreement shall be binding for each of the listed parties, apprentice and sculptor alike, and it shall continue in effect until such time as sculptor delivers to the insecond king under the mountain a signed parchment containing the desire of both parties to terminate it. Without such a delivery, this agreement will continue in perpetuity. May it be a fruitful and satisfactory apprenticeship for both parties. Witness on this day, the 3rd of October in the year 3018, with seals affixed in the hole under the mountain by Dane the second Ironfoot King under the mountain. Well...
It sounds bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm so glad I didn't get to sign anything. That at least was good advice, Eskil. I'm thinking, but I see no way out of it. Does it really say that the only way to get out of the contract is to deliver a signed paper to King Dane? But he is dead. He died at the gates of the Lonely Mountain during the siege that ended the war before this one. I suppose there is nothing to be done. I will be bound to this apprenticeship until my dying days, and that could very well be this day, or at the very latest on the morrow. Fastrith coughs politely.
What do you think?
I believe we could argue that despite the specific references to King Dane, it was always intended that this part in the agreement should transfer to any king under the mountain that should follow him. After all, this agreement was created with war already visible upon the horizon, and King Dane was not one to shy away from conflict. Perhaps, if we petition King Durin's Stormhelm? Fastrith shakes her head. No, it is too long a journey back to Erebor, and I know Stáli would not agree to make it. I would need to take the journey, and my brother would remain in danger by his master's whims while I made the trip. We need a more immediate remedy, Beriathan. Wait, what about that section there, where Eskil is obligated to nominate a substitute to carry out his duties in the event that he becomes ill or maimed? He still has all his limbs, praise Durin, but I would say he's indeed sick. Sick of carrying out such dangerous errands for his master. But who can replace my brother in his apprenticeship until we can petition King Thorin to cancel the agreement? I know just the person. Fastrith stares at you, challenge lighting a fire in her eyes. Me, Beriathan, I speak of myself. I will do it. I am not afraid of a few orcs, and I have always been more courageous than my brother, dear though he is to me. And I would not mind learning what I might about sculpting either. What does Stáli have to say about this?
A substitute apprentice? I don't know about this.
I have become quite fond of the lad, after all. But now that you mention it, the meals he made were always undercooked, and he never cleaned the corners of my workshop as thoroughly as he should have. Fine. I accept Eskil's sister, Fastrith, as my apprentice in his stead, but I will deduct a portion of her weekly stipend to cover my inconvenience. I am doing you all a favor, don't expect another. And this is what I expect, for Fastrith to find me the Zabad'ibîn wherever they have been taken. Only then will I be happy about this. With that settled, you should speak with Durin downstairs before returning to Gundabad. This is also so convoluted, if you will. Durin has come back with us, what for? He didn't have any need to come back here.
I thought I saw you here.
I return to Circle Saloon to bring more dwarves and supplies back with me to Gundabad. We can walk back together. Alright, at least they account for that.
Then let us return. The conquest of the mountain home will wait no longer.
Oh, awesome! We got Valor is now level 78, but I think, yeah, we have unlocked level 79, so okay, We still have a couple things to do. Then let us return. The conquest of the mountain home will wait no longer. That was it. I still wonder, why couldn't this be done all in here in Maergrind? Stáli was already here. Why didn't he bring... I mean, I don't know what was the point of going back to Circle Saloon, really. We were already in Gundabad. I don't get it.
The time has come to push deeper into Gundabad.
Threats remain here and there within Vatug-ronk, but for the most part we have secured these halls and I do not fear they will be retaken. The time has come to push deeper into Gundabad. To that end, I have ordered scouts to survey the further reaches, beyond Deep's Grave to the west and north from Vatug-ronk into the Pits of Stonejaws. Perhaps you can work to accomplish the second of this. You proved a good friend to Bosi of the Iron Garrison, so I ask you to meet up with him at the entrance to the Pit of Stonejaws. Help him to survey the cavern and the tombs housed within, the better to expand the foothold of the Gavilac and Gundabad. I will await report of your success, Beriathan. Awesome, so... using here, yeah, this was the very last of Deep's Grave. And now we are going to the Pits of Stonejaws. We got to see the entrance to the pit very briefly when we were doing the last bits of exploration in Vatug-ronk. So we already kinda know where to go, I hope. But before we go there, let us remember this vector that Boina gave us at the throne room. If you are seeking the Pit of Stonejaws, it is not far from here. You can find it by traveling north. Tread carefully, for very few dwarves have yet to venture within the deep shaft. If you do venture into the Pit of Stonejaws, you should first seek out Scoutmaster Ausma. She has led a group of dwarves there just recently. So yeah, let us remember really quick what we found there. We found evidence of the Angmarim working with the hobgoblins, and in order to discover what exactly are they planning, we need to travel to the Pit of Stonejaws, as that is the location where both Angmarim and hobgoblins are located. That's where we're headed. Just trying to see if there is an easy way to avoid most of these fights, but I'm not getting my hopes up too much. Yeah, we need to pull all these guys, and I don't think our blitz and dodge will be good enough for all this, but maybe they will. Oh, they were. Alright. Stop it. Now the way down is not this one. But it's actually through here. So yeah, we can avoid the hobgoblin camp. But this place is filled with Greatbeak. The dreaded Greatbeak, but maybe we can avoid them as well. Should be able to, right? The way down? Yeah. Oh, come on. Here we have the entrance to the pits. Let's see. You did. Site of Stonejaws, Warkstad. So what do we have here? Sites of Stonejaws, 7 sites. And here we will find Shakajat, which is a place we learned a little bit about during the last episode. But well, I think maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Basically, we'll get to see that Shakajat we read about on the last episode. That's all we need to know for now. So here we are at a new location. We're gonna grab a milestone. Oh, here we have Scoutmaster Ozma.
It is good to see you.
Beriathan, have you joined us to investigate the hobgoblins that dwell with the Pit of Stonejaws? Yeah, of course. So we have indeed the quests of the Stonejaws. How many of them? 25. So a little bit bigger than Deep's Grave, it seems.
Welcome to the Pit of Stonejaws, soldier. We have reason to believe that the hobgoblin seat of power lies within these jagged caverns.
We also believe that their leader, Warlord Dushtalbuk, and his advisors are currently here, holed up in their fort to avoid the growing unrest between the enemy forces. Our mission here is to locate their fort, discover the scope of their power, and if we are very fortunate indeed, slay the Warlord himself. The timing is vital. If we can remove Dushtalbuk from the table before the hobgoblins and orcs reconcile their differences, they may be unable to organize again before we deal a decisive blow and win this war. Because of this mission's importance, Prince Durin has personally asked me to oversee it. You, Beriathan, will also be instrumental in our success. I have not come alone, however. I have taken on 3 apprentices that I would like you to meet. I have been teaching them the ways of stealth and of the dagger. Go introduce yourself. I expect they will be excited to meet you, for they have heard tell of your exploits. Kluzo Molka Kirstik. Okay.
I am Kluzo of the Stout Axe clan. Ozma has told me much of your skills.
I look forward to seeing them in action myself.
I am Molka of the Zerruka. The others seemed quite excited to work with you.
If your presence betters our chance of surviving this dangerous mission, I suppose I am pleased as well.
I have heard a great deal about you. I am Kirsty of the Longbeards.
I am eager to fight beside such a renowned warden. So, much like our excursion in the wells of Langflot, we have here a party comprised of 1 Shellruka, 1 Stout Axe, and 1 Longbeard. A very nice detail whenever we get to see these kind of parties.
My apprentices are an interesting assortment, to be sure.
They show promise but lack experience, which I hope to correct during this mission. But enough of the pleasantries, we have work to do. We arrived only slightly ahead of you, giving us the time to make camp at Little Elves. Our next step is reconnaissance. I will send you and those 3 out into the capes to scout different areas of Stonejaws. Your first mission is this: find a hobgoblin fortress known as Shakajat. Do not stray too near, lest you ruin the advantage of our surprise.
Hail, friend!
One more thing, Beriathan. While you scout away to Shakajat, slay any hobgoblins that cross your path. This will keep them from reporting back to their masters in the fortress and also give you a warm-up for the battles to come. These tasks serve 2 purposes, and that is even better than 1. Oh, and we have opened a lot of... Oh, the gem cutters! Pony and Fussy! And Gruffer, I don't remember you, but... Give me just a moment. Pony, how are you doing? Beriathan, it is good to see you again. We gem cutters have returned after a long time away, eager to join the Gavilaka. We are not truly warriors, but perhaps we can help in other ways. And if we do not, my wife Amma will never let me hear the end of it. She believes the Pit of Stonejaws contains a large number of crystals, and she sent me here to collect some samples. Yes, of course, I said to her. But now that we are here, I see this area is quite dangerous. See how it swarms with beasts and hobgoblins? Can I ask you to bring me back some crystal examples for examination? You may even borrow my pick. Alright, so, pause here a little moment because Ozma in here and Funny, I think now we are picking up some of the quest lines that we started in Elder's Late that I told you we'll get to see its conclusions in Gundabad. So, Mother Ozma was talking about Warlord Dushtalbuk, which is a name we heard a couple times. In Elder's Late, we have not met the Warlord ourselves, but we will very shortly. And now Funny Gem Cutter is once again mentioning the crystals we investigated with Mother Amma back in Elder's Late as well. So we are finally getting some answers to those things that we started investigating back then. And you gotta keep in mind, Gundabad came a full year after the War of Three Peaks mini expansion, so originally we had to wait a full year to get some answers on all this, but now, well, here we are.
What news do you bring?
Beriathan, I hope you have been well. We gem cutters are here to help. There may not be much use for rings and bracelets in times of war, but we're plenty resourceful folk. I know I can put my craft skill to some other use. Have you seen the strange shelled creatures that crawl hereabouts? They look a bit like crabs, but they are much larger. Their strange bulbous eyes fill me with unease. I don't mind telling you. The orcs call them okrash. Well, I have had a thought, and that thought is this. Perhaps we could use our shells to fashion useful articles for the war efforts. Shields, armor, who knows what else. But the shells of the small ones aren't thick enough to serve. Fret not, I have caught glimpses of a huge one. Only glimpses. I think it spends most of its time underwater, but I have a feeling that one shell will be worth its weight in gold. I doubt you'll catch it out in the open, but perhaps you can lure it out with meat from the smaller Ukrash in the Pit of Stonejaws. I am hoping the big one is both scavenger and cannibal. Alright, whatever you say.
What can be done?
Oh, I could use your help, Beriathan. We gem cutters have come to assess the ore and minerals in the Pit of Stonejaws, but this place is crawling with beasts and things look to be difficult. We found some tunnels on the northeastern side of the Pit of Stonejaws that look rich with veins and precious gems, but they are thick with cave claws and their deep claw cousins. Do you think you might spare the time to clear them out for us? Alright, I can do that, yeah.
Yes.
While I was scouting those tunnels in the northeast corner of the Pit of Stonejaws, I ran afoul a creature that could only belong to legend, and yet my father brings word of another such beast in lands far to the south. Can you believe it? This creature is a massive cave claw with a bright and shining golden horn. It nearly sliced me in two. Keep an eye out for him if you're over there. He's quite aggressive and is sure to become a danger to the Gavilaka if someone doesn't do something. And that someone is you, Beriathan. Deny it if you can. No, I'm not gonna try. That is the perfect mission for myself, I would say. Stable Master in here. Longbeard Messenger. The Vector to Glooming Tarn. Yeah, we can do that eventually. For now, let us get going with the quests. We have a lot of things to do in here. Collected foul meat. You have found Bossy at the entrance to the Pit of Stonejaws.
Welcome, my friend. Are you here to lend us your aid?
Of course, as always. I must give my thanks to the prince when next we return to Vatug-ronk, for you have always been a great help to us in each of our endeavors. My son Bori went on ahead to seek for the houses of rest, the tombs of our people. They are said to line the walls of the Pit of Stonejaws, and I am interested to see them as well, but something else has drawn my attention. A great city in the pit, home not to the bones of our ancestors but to more recent and unwelcome arrivals. I will take a small party of Longbeards to appraise this city. Perhaps you can bring my son to join us after he learns if the houses of rest are free of orcs. Bori went to the northwest and will be pleased for you to join him. Beware of the creatures that have made their homes here and destroy any that threaten your safe passage. So what do we do first? Do we do some of the side quests? Do we try to follow the epic? I don't know. Exposed crystal, that's another exposed crystal. I think I can take that one. Alright. Stop it. Stop it. You did, Stonejaws Beast Slayer. That's what I thought. How many do we need? 100 of them. But we still have the deed accelerator active, so that's gonna count for something, right? This toad also counts for the deed, so maybe we can fight that guy later. another crystal, the toad. If you wanna fight, I'm more than happy to give you a fight. Another exposed crystal in here. Almost done with the crystals. All right. Where to next? Crystal Grim. I don't think we need to fight the Crystal Grim just yet. It's some crash, but I don't see them. Oh, come on. Because the thing is, I think the Ukrash can only be found here on the southern. Well, not on the southern portion of the map per se, but yeah, I think we can proceed a little bit further into the pit. Let's take another picture of this place because it does look pretty. Stonejaws and Glooming Tarn especially are really nice looking places that I do enjoy quite a lot. A large orc fort lies before you. This must be Jakajat. Oh, we just need to defeat some hobgoblins. We don't need to enter Jakajat just yet, it seems. So maybe we can round up some of these guys. Stonejaws hobgoblins layer, yeah. We'll check that deed in just a moment. Alright. Just one more hobgoblin. Maybe we don't need to enter the fortress yet. That would be nice. That would be really nice if that were the case. Alright, yeah, that was it. So maybe we can instead look for the Ukrash for the meat. I think I saw something over there, but I gotta go there and check really quick. Red crystal, yeah, that's what I thought. You did, Crystal Hunter. So, let me show this to you. Well, we have the hobgoblins layer first of all. 80 of them. Okay, that seems reasonable. Now, Crystal Hunter. We need to find 7 rare crystals scattered throughout the Pit of Stonejaws because, well, the Pit of Stonejaws only has 4 different explorer deeds. These for the crystals, deeds for the enemy camps, and the other 2 for the caches and the rare chests. So, since every zone in Gundabad has at least 4 explorer deeds, they added this crystal deed to the Stonejaws to fill that quota, I believe. But it's still very in tune with what this place is about, and looking for the crystals is fun. It's just that you gotta know from the very start that you're looking for them, otherwise you will go through many different locations without realizing that you're also supposed to be looking for the crystals. And the thing is that you have this quest where you collect this crystal samples, but in my case at least, due to that quest, I believe there was nothing else to do with the crystals. I thought that all the other crystals that you see there on Stonejaws were also part of that quest. So after I completed the quest, I stopped bothering about the crystals. It was only when I was halfway through with the Pit of Stonejaws that I realized there was this other deed that I had neglected unknowingly, and then I had to go back and basically re-explore the first half of this place that I hadn't checked. So once again, if you know that you're looking for these crystals, I think finding them is really not that hard, because like many other explorer deeds, these crystals, like the treasure caches and the rare chests, you will find most of these crystals really close to the enemy camps and the important landmarks in the pits, but you gotta be looking for them because they can still be quite well hidden even if you know the general location of those crystals. Alright, here we have the massive hook rush. Here he comes. That's a big guy, of course. The cheating from this beast is massive. Let us go back to the camp, let us turn in these quests, and let's see what else happens after this. Maybe that will help us decide if we continue with the main quest or we do a couple more side quests first.
Gundabad will be ours once more.
You present the massive hook shell to Fuzi. My goodness, Beriathan, what a monster that must have been. I will be able to make something sturdy from this chitin, or my name is not Fuzi Gem Cutter. I mean, this is no gemstone, but my abilities are more wide-ranging than my name would suggest, and so it is with you, my friend. Thank you for your help.
Our need is dire.
Oh, look at all these beautiful crystals. Hand them over so I may examine them more closely. He takes out a bright glass and carefully inspects the crystal samples. I do not believe these are the same as those the Angmarim corrupt. See how beautiful they are, and how they shine even in the dim light. Our craft is sure to benefit from these caverns crystals. Thank you for doing the legwork, Beriathan. Alright, so totally unrelated to the other crystals the Angmarim are corrupting, that's good to know. Oh. Did that shell appeared after we completed the quest? To be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention. I can review the footage, but I don't know the answer right now. This is just the beginning, Beriathan. If these are the hobgoblins outside the fort, imagine how many must lurk within.
All warmed up, soldier? What you have to report?
You tell Ausma that Shakajat lies at the center of the Pit of Stonejaws, little more than a dagger's throw from Barkstad. Good work. Now for the next step, locating our warlord.
Now that we have the location of Shakajat, we need to gather more information.
Alright, we'll need to do this instance. This instance, as far as I remember, will take us to the location where you can find one of the other crystals for the deed, but I think you cannot use the crystal when you are doing this instance, but even if you can't, you will still get to see the location of it. However, I don't think we have enough time today to continue aiding the Scoutmaster Ozma, so that's something that we'll have to wait for the next time. For the time being though, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.